Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another crypto market update. It is Tuesday morning, December the 10th, 2024, foul year of our Lord. Hopefully you're doing absolutely fantastic. Before we begin today's show, I would like to have a moment of silence, or at least softer hooting and catcalling, for the broken, the fallen, the 100x longs, the exuberant latecomers, the retail, the degens. Every new all-time high, every strive forward in the cryptocurrency markets, unfortunately, is littered with the bodies of those who could not make the journey. The paper hands, the weak, the unfortunate. And to them, we pay homage because it is upon your backs. It is upon your liquidity that we continue to strive and push higher in the long run. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a great show for you today. Yesterday, wow, what a day. What a big correction. We haven't seen one of those in a while. It's okay. Don't freak out. It's pretty normal. If you're new to crypto, this kind of stuff it happens. Yep, it happens. It hurts, but it's it's part of the game. Yesterday, by most parameters, was the largest altcoin correction in history. In terms of volume, in terms of percentage drop, in terms of angry faces on crypto Twitter. Certainly was pretty big. However, with every catastrophe comes opportunity. All right. And this channel, at least, remains committed to a very, very bullish 2025. So what I see is a lot of discount cryptocurrencies on sale. We flushed a lot of liquidation out of the system. There is a potential on the tactical time frame over the next, obviously in the course of days, which is the hardest to predict, that we do end up pushing a bit lower. But we have to understand that as yesterday was one of the largest altcoin corrections, we've seen this very repeatable pattern with altcoins. Okay. And that is the fact that we have to look at the fundamentals. People are still buying Bitcoin. MicroStrategy is still buying Bitcoin. Michael Saylor is still buying Bitcoin. The US government will soon be buying Bitcoin. And we are about to have a renaissance, particularly in the altcoin markets. We've seen Bitcoin and stablecoin dominance drop dramatically as altcoins pushed into altcoin season. And as altcoin total 3, which we'll look at here in a little bit, so looking at altcoin market capitalization, as we reached a new all-time high, 1.16 trillion, we experienced this pretty significant correction. And we talked about Bitcoin and other things being overbought, of course, so just pretty natural. But the actual tactics of how these sales are carried out, even though we have the vast majority still buying, prices are at very extreme profitable positions for whales and OGs. And they have begun to sell, and they will continue to sell. They will continue to sell as prices move up. I've talked about this before. When we look at on-chain indicators, for example, like the amount of Bitcoin that has not moved in over a year, when we actually start to see that go down, it's bullish. And the market remains very bullish as long as whales continue to sell in the long run. It's only when whales stop selling and start accumulating again that we pretty much have confirmation that we have now entered a downtrend and there's not going to be higher highs anymore. That is not where we're at. I think we've seen, or are in the middle of, the first big wave of people taking profits. And what we're going to see over the next weeks is those coins change hands, as they are doing right now. For every buy, there is a sell. We're going to see those coins change hands. And then we get to move into the fundamentals of 2025. I remain very optimistic. I think 2025 is going to be a beautiful year, a year for riches indeed. However, it does not miss my attention that, listen, Monday morning, before everything got really crazy, before we really started dipping, I put out my morning report and I was like, hey, just so you guys know, on some of these coins, I've sold 50%. Avalanche, Polkadot, Ethereum, etc. And like I said, I did that for my own financial self-interest, my own financial reasons. I need to do some plays in the real world. But it does not escape or miss my attention that as I did that, then the market just dumped all day. So, you know, we'll see. We've got a good show for you guys today. We're going to cover a lot of charts. We're going to cover a lot of information as we go. If you have questions, if you feel lost behind, left behind, lost, don't hesitate to ask. I will be monitoring the live chat. We're going to cover a lot. We're going to do it quickly. I'm going to give you the most important information. A little housekeeping before we begin. We do the show every single weekday, typically from 10 to noon, starting a little earlier today. Today's show will be from 9:30 to 11:30 as I have some afternoon obligations that I need to attend to. If you find value in this content, if you want to catch our live show every single day, make sure to subscribe to us on YouTube and drop a like on today's video. That really helps boost us up in the algorithm. If you're watching on Rumble or X, please also drop us a follow, like the video. It helps out a lot and helps support this independent trading that we do and this education process that we are on. If you guys want to, oh, by the way, if you guys want more exclusive content, our members only content, access to our automated trading strategies, access to our exclusive indicators, access to my in-depth full report every single morning and evening. What you see on the show here is a truncated version of that. I hold some things back. What you get in the Discord and on X is a truncated version. I hold some things back, the juiciest things. Those are exclusively for the members of our Crypto Trading Academy. So if you're ready to begin learning how to build your own trading strategy from the ground up, treat trading like a business, not a gambling hobby, join us in the Crypto Trading Academy. That will be the first link in the description down below. Secondly, we are having our BYDFi Christmas season trading competition with our exchange partner, BYDFi. It's the second link in the description. Currently a $2,000, I think we're at 300 now, $2,300 prize pool. Top 5 traders will share 80% of that. 20% of that, however, will go to traders who simply trade over $100 in volume. So go check out BYDFi, over 600 pairs, up to 200x leverage, demo trading so you can learn to trade without risking real capital, and great features. Thank you very much. With that out of the way, let's get into the show. Make sure to drop those chart requests and hold on tight. All right, as always, let me know if the music is too loud. It is a beautiful, crisp morning here in the Midwest. Shout outs to our early chatters. We've got Profit Bear, Yes to Crypto, Timmy Kwesi, and we've got the man, Tyler himself, Tyler D, who hopefully we will be hearing on this show shortly. Not today, but like shortly, as in like spans of weeks and days. You're right. What music indeed, because it's not playing. There we go. Music beginning. And Alex, the man, the myth, the legend. Good to see you guys. All right, let's begin here. All right, so this is what we like to see. So this is what I was talking about. So this chart right here is total 3. This is the crypto total market cap, excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this we really use to identify mostly the market capitalization of altcoins. As we can see, prior to the dump, we had reached a new all-time high of 1.16 trillion, that's trilly with a T, dollars. $1.16 trillion. Now, anytime we reach new all-time highs, it's very common to get a pullback, especially if you take that in the context of things being quite overbought in the first place and having great performances. We did see, as we had kind of expected, because what was one of the big surprises of this season? Well, it was dinosaur coins, things like XRP, Cardano, for example, Near, AVAX, Polkadot. These things, my holds. These things are really taking off and ripping into this cycle, which I don't think anybody would have predicted 6 months ago, a year ago. I don't really think they would have. I think they would have said, no, those coins are dead. That's been the consensus for almost a year now, almost 2 years now. So it was quite fantastic to see these old dinosaur coins come up out of nowhere and just rip. All right. However, we take the technicals into account here. 1.16 trillion. Pretty big pullback. One of the largest pullbacks that we've seen in total 3 since the August dump right here. All right. can see here, this kind of marked the local bottom of the altcoin markets back on August 5th, 2024. And we've had a beautiful rally so far. And this is our first significant pullback. Everything else has just been, obviously the 3-wave cycle, 1 wave pullback, 1 wave pullback, 1 wave pullback, 5 legs on that for the Elliott wavers out there. And so thus begins this move down. Is it the beginning of a downtrend? Well, downtrends are characterized by lower lows and lower highs, which we have not done yet. We have not made a new lower low. We have not made a lower low in this cycle yet. All we've done is make higher highs and what is most likely going to be a higher low when altcoins rip into 2025. If we take the worst case scenario into account, the altcoin season indicator has fallen pretty dramatically, and we only spent about 8 days up in altcoin season. Previously, we spent 88 days up in altcoin season when it was sustained. All right. So very, very short cycle for altcoins if this is going to be marking, in the worst case, some form of local top. And if it is a local top, if we do not find support here relatively soon, if buyers don't take advantage of these discount prices, which they certainly are. It's just, are the aggressive buyers going to step in and begin pushing up prices from here, or are we going to dip a bit lower? If we dip a bit lower, it is my firm assertion that we will be forming most likely a higher low, on total market capitalization for altcoins, and that we will be pushing higher come 2025, that we will be seeing a renaissance of altcoins. So that's where we stand with Total 3. When we look at other on-chain metrics, for example, SOPR. SOPR, spin output profit ratio, often spikes and does spike in moments where lots and lots of coins, Bitcoin, changes hands. Right? You can simply backtest this, put this on your chart. This is BTC SOPR. You can get this free from Glassnode, or you can subscribe to Glassnode and get more advanced metrics. But this is just a simple way to look and see that basically anytime SOPR spikes, it's often a reversal, because it is at those moments when large quantities of coins change hands that typically whatever the dominant direction is flips. And this can be true in trending, and this can be true in ranging markets. And I want to note the big spike in SOPR that we are experiencing on yesterday's daily candle. The other thing that I want to point out that I think is very important, this is stablecoin dominance and Bitcoin dominance. Now, for some reason, my calculations on TradingView for stablecoin dominance and altcoin dominance are still not working. I'm not sure why. I haven't figured that out yet. But looking at stable and Bitcoin dominance, price was rising in this rising wedge pattern, and we finally got a breakdown. Let us not forget what would be very glorious targets to see Bitcoin and stablecoin dominance drop back down to, which would be about 42%, 43%. And we can notice that this was in the exuberant highs of the altcoin cycles in 2021 and 2022. So this is really our targets. If you prefer not looking at it this way, we can just flip it around. All right. And what we have now is a falling wedge breakout. All right. And so when we look at it this way, I think it's easier for you guys to see a falling wedge breakout and what happens typically when patterns break out. What is the pattern that I continually advocate to look for? Well, it's the BPR. It's not necessarily the first breakout, although that can be profitable if there's very good momentum, which in this case there was. There was fantastic momentum on the breakout. But most breakouts, if they're going to lead to really strong, powerful, longer-term trends, will break, rise, pull back, retest, and then continue the uptrend. All right. In this case, of course, we're looking at inverted. In this case, continue the downtrend. But I find it's easier for most people, and certainly myself too, to more visually identify the falling wedge breakout, because who hasn't traded a nice, juicy falling wedge breakout? So that's currently what we're experiencing. Our first initial breakout of the falling wedge pattern, a pullback to the 200 SMA, So nice general level of resistance here. Also some technical horizontals, vertical levels of horizontal support and resistance here. So after a little bit of consolidation, or perhaps even more violent, I would expect this dead cat bounce to resume its downtrend and make a new lower low, which would correlate to higher highs across the altcoin class. Patience is a good thing. Let's see here. As we can see with regards to the percentage of circulating supply in decline, notice that as whales continue to sell, the market continues to move up. And this was also very true in previous cycles. So the blue line, the blue chart, represents the percentage of circulating supply that has not moved in at least a year. The red chart in the background is the price of Bitcoin overlaid on top of it, or overlaid beneath it, however you want to look at it. And as we can see, as the percentage of supply that has not moved in a year continues to decline, as whales that have been holding for a year continue to sell, it's actually generally quite bullish, especially the sharper it is. As it starts to level off, well, we get tops. And then as it starts to move up, that's a confirmed downtrend, because long-term holders buy during downtrends and sell in uptrends. Smart money. What are we doing right now? Notice that as the percentage of supply moved down rapidly, we experienced our first upthrust and significant trend in the early months of 2024. And as this started to level off, what happened? Well, as they stopped selling so much, price went down. What do you mean? How could it be that the old coins not being sold would not lead to an uptrend? So all this nonsense that you, like literally every single day, I open up my Google Discover feed and I flip over and I just see headlines that like don't understand how markets work. Nobody, like most people don't understand how markets work. It's so simple. I've explained it before. And now what do we have here? A very sharp decrease in the percentage of supply that has not moved. And we could maybe predict a rounding here, which would lead to maybe some consolidation. But so far, we're not really seeing what we saw over here whatsoever. We're not seeing this. We're not seeing it go sideways. So we'll see. This is a very important indicator to watch for the long-term holders. All right. Let's get into Skibbity Bop. Excuse me. Didn't even eat anything this morning. Jordan Stott's good to see you, man. Okay. Let's go over the important things first. Let's look at our trends. Bitcoin. We have that 5-minute, 10-minute, and 30-minute bearish trend with an overall bullish 4-hour trend. And as I've said before, generally when we see the short-term trends be bearish and the long-term trends be bullish, that is usually a signal of a buying opportunity right now. I will also talk about the fact that Bitcoin is descending into the value area low of the day. So this is likely if price is to move up today. And I would put a good probability on that. Unless we are going to enter into and continue and renew a 30-minute downtrend. All right. Which might be difficult given these levels of support that we've seen. So this could be a rare opportunity to actually revisit and buy the wick. I like this. Our key levels for the day, we have our point of control, which price just rejected from at 97,710. Our VWAP at 97,198. Our value area low is 95,674 to 95,973. You know what? Hold on. Oh, shoot. I got to log in real quick. Hold on. I got to buy. Oh, no. There it is. Ah, shoot. Make me miss out on my great entry. Come on. Let's go. Thank you. Security, come on, man. All right, geez. Christ almighty. Go away. What are you doing, man? Thank you. These people, man. So let's go isolated, 10x leverage. And we're just gonna go. There we go. Just gonna go gig along here. Nothing too crazy. About $30,000 position size, I do believe. And we are pretty much going to target about the low 97s. And we're just going to keep it chill for right now. All right. I can't. Sorry. I see that. I got to take it. Value area low. Support. Come on. All right. And we'll probably do 30-minute close below, probably 30-minute close below these wicks for invalidation. No hard stop loss right now because we have 10%. We have 10% variance, so I know my max risk. Life's good. Where were we? Apologize. Right, I'm sorry you guys had to see that. Sorry you guys had to look at a scantily clad woman on the internet. God, you've never seen that before, huh? We went over the trends. We went over the key levels. I talked about a potential buying opportunity right now. We have deviated below the 4-hour buy zone. As I've talked about every single other time, this has been a screaming buy. And this is not even the longest period of time we spent down here. Go look over here, right? Where we actually, historical precedent just recently, and here we were in kind of this long-term ranging consolidation where we actually broke down, popped back up, rejected, and made a lower low, all right? And then of course, just a few days ago, we also dipped down here. So clearly there are very strong buyers in the approximately $90,000 area. What is, I mean, obviously this isn't even the worst case scenario, but what's something that is kind of like mid? It's possible that we actually need the rest of December. My bias going into December had been that the first week, obviously the first week was very, very bullish. Historically, we consolidate on the second week, and then usually third and fourth week are very, very bullish. So that's still my primary bias right now, but we have to look at the chart in front of us and not what we want or hope. So I would say, again, the worst case scenario is that we like enter into a downtrend and this is the market top. I don't see any evidence of that whatsoever right now. And that's mostly coming from on-chain. However, like what is a less favorable outcome here, but something we should totally be prepared for? Well, the market does drift a little bit lower. Altcoins might sell off another 10 to 15%. Bitcoin drops another 5% here or so, and trades around the $90,000 mark. Deviates briefly below the 200 SMA on the 4-hour time frame. So I'm prepared for that. That's totally fine. I don't necessarily know if that's the most likely thing, but we'll see. So I think people should be prepared for that. So I think my best advice, and this is exactly what I laid out in my report this morning, is that individuals should be, especially for this is a great time to come into the market right now with fresh capital, because you've already seen what's possible. We have a 1-hour short signal on BTC from the Minx strategy. Counter trading my own system. God bless America. We have, but it's all right. That trade was automatically taken by my bot, so life's good. This is a great time to be entering into the market with fresh capital, because you've already seen B-Flow, what's up, man? We've already seen, especially retail, they've already seen like, oh, wow, look how much this can pump. And we have so much potential ahead of us. So I think this is a good time to be entering into the markets, to be considering scaling into long-term, low leverage longs. The most conservative thing, of course, is to wait for some strong signs of a bottom, which I would argue the last 4 or 5 4-hour candles, like kind of like the last over last night and this morning, pretty strong evidence of that. APAC and the UMA markets did not sell off the markets last night. It looks like they bought. And the American Open didn't initially sell off. All right. And we are seeing the kind of late morning, though, try to push prices lower. Let's take a look at our liquidation levels and see what incentive they have to do such a thing. They have incentive. Clearing out liquidation levels. I think we should be prepared for prices to go down to about 94,756. Okay. Obviously, we can clearly see buyers have stepped in here. 94, 95,000 or high. I'd say 95,000 would be a pretty good safe push to the downside here. This could get ugly, so I don't really want to hold the position down to retest these liquidation levels. I much prefer testing these liquidation levels. So we'll see. On the daily time frame, we also have the 30 daily exponential moving average, DMA, strong support. And worst case scenario, as I said, if we consolidate a little bit lower, if we consolidate and put in that rectangular consolidation pattern underneath the 4-hour 200 SMA, then we'd just be, again, going to the daily, we'd just be looking to buy in my optimum buy zone. Since we have now lost currently the 10 daily exponential moving average. For those bigger daily long positions, we do want to be looking between 88,000 and, like I said, about 88,000 and 90,000, although it's 92,000. But this right here, corresponding to underneath the 4-hour 200 SMA, is going to be the area that I would be recommending those low leveraged but long-term longs. So larger positions, lower leverage, looking for price to go from, you know, the 90,000 area to 110, 120, 130, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, through the first quarter of 2025. And I'm recommending a similar strategy on altcoins as well. I do think we probably trade up today, but I am open to the fact that we might have a little bit more of a pullback left in us. The fact that the Asia Pacific and European and Middle Eastern markets did not sell off last night is actually quite strong to me. It's actually good to see. And Americans, you know, even though we've sold off a little bit on that last 4-hour candle, you know, we need to see a little bit more. We haven't broken through support yet. In fact, we've just come back down to support, so they keep giving us buying opportunities. So we'll see. But they don't seem to have much gas in the tank to sell. So let's carry on now with Ethereum. Ethereum, obviously in a similar situation. We're actually right back at my 4-hour buy window. Obviously, this trade played out and we closed it out. We can actually... our trends, we've got that 5-minute, 10-minute, and 30-minute bearish trend, and we've got a bullish 4-hour trend. And you guys know what I say: when the short-term trends are bearish and the long-term trends are bullish, that's usually a short-term buying opportunity, almost always. Combine that with the fact that we're in the value area low, usually good for a bid right back up to VWAP, right? So just in the short term, Ethereum from here to something like 3685, probably a good intraday trade. Obviously, I'm proxying that with Bitcoin. I already have a little bit of Ethereum long interest open up right now. Our key levels on the daily is that point of control at 3,695 with VWAP at 3,684. So good intraday targets, or maybe being a little bit more conservative and undershooting it around like 3,660. We are in the value area low, which stretches from 3,543 to 3,612. And I would say ambitious targets for the day would be a return to the value area high, all right, which would basically be a retest of current resistance And that stretches from 3,757 to 3,826. Again, we have lost the 10 daily exponential moving average. All right. So the next kind of big picture buy zone is that area between the 30 and the 50, which would be about 3,290 to 3,483, where long-term, low leverage longs can and probably should be scooped up. We do have a 30-minute bearish trend, although we have put in very strong wick support here, and potentially establishing yet again support here. So intraday, or maybe over the evening, watching for that break of 3780, 3770 right here, as we can see resistance on the 30-minute time frame. Watching for a break of that, and then either buying that initial breakout or waiting for that 30-minute trend to turn bullish and buying that first pullback would really let us ride any recovery rally back up to whatever level Ethereum's going to go to. However, let me also point out that that's also not my primary philosophy on trading. My primary philosophy on crypto, because crypto just moves uniquely than the Forex markets, and we have so many analysts, traders, content. Good to see you, Rudy LeBlanc. Content creators that, I mean, they're really just stuck in equity mode and Forex mode, and they say a lot of things that seem smart and would be smart if they were talking about equities, but it's just fundamentally divorced from how crypto actually trades and works under the hood. Crypto doesn't do a whole lot of this, like, you know, retesting levels and giving you opportunities and all that typically. Crypto is usually like, if we're going down, we're going down, right? Because we're going down if key players have the desire and propensity to sell right now. And if they've stopped doing that, then we're going up. And it's not like, oh, well, we go up and then down, and like, no, like, so that's kind of my point, right? Is, you know, if we look at Ethereum, for example, if Ethereum gets up above this level of resistance at 3770 and like higher, you know, like breaks above this, climbs up into 3898, like there's no real reason to be bearish. It's not the evil market makers pushing price up so that they can sell it off. That's not how it works. If they wanted to sell it off, then they just sell it off. Crypto is momentum. So, you know, crypto's momentum. All right, Solana. Solana is the most oversold of the big three right now. Okay, Solana is the most oversold of the big three. It actually had established support here and broke down. All right. Now, still hasn't made a new low yet after the dump that we had yesterday. And just kind of consolidating down here. We have a bearish 5-minute, 10-minute, and 30-minute trend, a bearish 4-hour trend as well. And on the daily, we actually have lost not only the 10, the 30, but now it appears we have not closed below, so it's not confirmed, the 50. All right. Meaning Solana is either in a very high value position to long right now, which this was exactly like my previous target for 205 and actually why I opened up Solana longs. Okay. This stop loss is actually incorrect because I scaled in and I put my stop loss a little bit lower. This was just the example that I was showing in the group this morning. But I think Solana is in a very good position. Solana offers, of course, since it was underperforming and started selling off earlier than Bitcoin and Ethereum, it either represents right now, well, it represents right now the highest risk but highest reward opportunity. So I think Solana actually does look quite good here. This is a nice orderly return to the 10 daily, or excuse me, 10 weekly exponential moving average. We're also in the value area low of today's VWAP. So unless we are going to enter into another daily downtrend right now and make new lows, this is a pretty good spot intraday for a recovery bounce. So we'll see what the Americans want to do here. XRP, we are seeing, of course, and this is obviously true across the board, but a lot of the dinosaur coins give back a good amount of their gains. All right. XRP had support at 220. We have now since lost that. We back tested and rejected it as resistance. XRP now hanging out at yesterday's lows in the value area low of the day. So again, kind of similarly, As we can see, we've got a lot of buyers that stepped in here, here, and here. So they're either going to abandon the market, or XRP is a screaming buy intraday here for at least a return to support at $2.20. We have deviated below the 10 daily exponential moving average. So for the long-term, low-leverage swing traders out there, the next area of interest on any pullbacks would be between $1.43 to $1.74. This zone between the 50 and the 30 daily exponential moving averages is where we would want to be looking for pullbacks to enter into long positions. And on the 30-minute time frame, we can see that we have resistance at about $2.26. So traders can either be aggressive here, which is kind of my strategy intraday, and look to kind of preempt any potential bullish recovery rally, or wait until this 30-minute trend and this level of resistance actually breaks and then look to take momentum up from there. I'll be pretty happy if XRP can get back up into its previous consolidation range between $2.20 and $2.50. So like I said, in the short term, we're either looking to capitalize, and this is kind of true of everything, we're either looking to capitalize on a swift recovery, or we're going to be holding out for prices to dip a little bit more into more high value areas of interest, focusing more on the daily, since we are potentially losing the 4-hour momentum, which is fine. Looking for resets back into our more pivotal buy zones. All right. Obviously, the former strategy of a swift recovery right now at support is much more attractive. You know, kind of having to accept the fact that, okay, well, we've lost the 4-hour momentum, which means we need to chill off for a little bit. Prices are going to pull back a little bit more, and that's okay. Doesn't, you know, change anything. Because this is like literally like this type of scenario right now is the type of test that you're going to need, that you need to go through to really do very well in bull markets, particularly in cryptocurrency. Because, you know, we all talked about it. We all talked about what we would do in the markets dip. This is what everybody was saying just a week ago. Oh man, if XRP or Solana or Ethereum or Bitcoin or anything would just dip a little bit, I tell you what, I'd back the truck up. And here we are, okay, beginning to dip, might dip a little bit more, and everybody's scared as shit. Oh, you know what? Nobody wants to talk about taking loans out now, huh? You only want to talk about taking loans when we just get green candles. Well, those green candles come after red candles. So it's what kind of trader do you want to be, right? Crypto bull. Got the Barry White vibe. Just trying to talk a little slower. My voice is a little wrecked. And there's no need to talk fast. I'm very confident in what I'm saying. We'll look at Sui for your crypto bull. Absolutely. All right. Oh, hold on one second. I got to shoot a text message. Sorry, I have to shoot 2 text messages. Sorry guys, this is important. You'll see why in a second. Okay. All right. Like I said, we've got buyers stepping in. Let's see. This is good. I really like this. I would like to see some higher prices today. So we'll just be patient and wait a little bit. Dogecoin, the Doge to the D to the Doge, the D to the O to the G to the E, the D to the O to the G to the E. We've got that bearish 5-minute, 10-minute, 30-minute trend, neutral 4-hour trend. So of all the top 5, neutral 4-hour trend from Doge. Doge breaking down below the support we had established at 40 cents and back down to probably even stronger support now at about 37 cents. So overall, liking this. Good bottom buy opportunity. We're in the value area low. We are oversold on the 30-minute, 10-minute, 5-minute. Life is good. We're at that 30 daily exponential moving average. So like I said, either relatively aggressive, swift recovery bounce here, back up into our trading range between 40 cents and 46 cents, which is the resistance that we were unable to break above. Or we're going to be looking for slightly lower prices on Doge between 33 cents and 37 cents. 33 cents and 38 cents would be the good reaccumulation zone to be entering, which would be a nice pullback to that weekly 10 DMA. So again, zooming out and seeing that, hey, yes, we've lost the 4-hour bullish trend. Maybe we're about to lose we haven't really lost the daily. But if we look at the weekly, it's like, oh, you mean like we pumped a lot and now price is just pulling back to that like weekly? Okay, though, like life's good, right? And so we want to see as price pull back to that weekly and then not really consolidate and push up. Because as you can see here, look what happens if we consolidate at the weekly. We don't really want to see that, right? We don't want to see that. Key levels on the day. We've got our point of control at 39 cents. We've got our value area high from 41 to 42 and our value area low from 36 to 38. All right. We're in that value area low right now. So just good opportunity intraday for buys. Relatively tight in validation. All right. Let's look at other positions of interest. Obviously, Brett got hit pretty hard. We are back in that consolidation area that we were at before the final push. Since Brett is a meme coin, it's going to move a little bit differently than other assets, and it is on base, which I'm quite bullish on right now. So ideally, we do see buyers step in around about here and defend their positions. If they do not, then there really isn't a strong next level of support, except for down here at about 12 cents, which would be a big pullback. Which would be a big pullback. Another maybe 20 to 25% to the downside on Brett, but that's a meme coin, when we're looking at potentially 10x potential. And Brett, I think, does have the potential to do like a $5 or $6 billion market capitalization. Aptos, similarly, has pulled back and deviated a bit underneath strong support that we had here around $11. I think Aptos is quite good here. Okay, Aptos did hit my break. We hit take profit one on Aptos. It did pull back, obviously, on yesterday's dump and trigger my break-even stop loss. So I do have my eyes on Aptos. I haven't re-entered yet. All right. If we do slip a little bit lower, it will probably be down here to about $9 to $10, which would be okay. But again, no, I'm sorry. I correct that. I do have a small starter position open on Aptos, just $1,000. And then I will add my regular size if we end up putting in some bullish price action. I think Sundog's on sale here. All right. Again, Sundog TRX meme coin. We have very strong support here. Incentive. I ended up rolling another 25% of incentive into WBTC on Pulse Chain. If we look at WBTC, it is holding up really well. And like I said yesterday, what you want to identify an alpha. Here's some alpha for you guys. Look at coins like virtual, like wrapped Bitcoin on Pulse Chain, for example, that didn't dip, that really didn't dip very much, because once the market recovers, those coins are going to fly, is my experience. Parcel, pretty big sell-off. All right, pretty big sell-off. We do have some support here around the 30-cent area, okay? Especially if this current low holds. All right. Overall, Parcel for me, I think can easily break 50 cents and hit $2 to $3 in 2025. Department of Government Efficiency is back at $189 million market capitalization. We do have our current level of support between 130 and 150. So I think Department of Government Efficiency is a nice buy right here. And I said virtual protocol on base looking really good. All right. Worst case scenario, unfortunately, is if we do put in a lower high here and then end up breaking support here, I will be closing my virtual position. But right now we've bounced from the same level of support that we have in a while. So again, bull market rules apply. Buy pullbacks to the 4-hour buy zone. My longer term holds, of which I've sold 50% on, told you guys. There's going to be Ethereum, Polkadot. I don't know. Why is Ethereum here? This is supposed to be AVAX. Why? Who messed with my shit? Sorry. Let me get to you guys' questions in just a second. Let me just finish the actual. Let me just answer the questions. What am I doing? This isn't the most important thing. The most important thing is the chat engagement. Let's look at SUI first. For Crypto Bull. I'm gonna look at SUI's market capitalization first. So SUI was able to hit about $13 billion in its market cap. And SUI as a layer 2, we would want a target of something like 30 billion to be relatively conservative. So, I mean, here's our daily buy zone, right? It's going to be about 8.65 billion to 10 billion. And as we can see, we have previous support there. So I think that's probably the most important area to watch, between $8 and $10 billion market capitalization for a re-entry on SUI. Price wise, SUI is in an active bottom feeder trade right now. It did end up buying, it bought on this sharp sell-off candle right here, but that's calculated off closing price right here. So I think you have that opportunity right now. I think again, if you, as a trader, I would trade on an aggressive recovery rally. Not with too much risk, 2 to 3% of your portfolio, we could be risking on a more aggressive recovery rally. And then if we do end up not recovering as quickly, and we do have a few more days and, of downside and maybe a week or so of consolidation, that's where I'd be taking a little bit more risk, reallocating your portfolio. I posted my portfolio recommendation this morning. I just reiterating it: 50% Bitcoin and Ethereum, 30%, your mid caps, 10% your high conviction low caps, and 10% memes, right? Or other high risk plays. When I say high risk plays, it could either be ICOs, liquidity bootstrapping protocols, IDOs, things like Selenium on Slim Launchpad. Obviously just putting money into the Launchpad and buying every new release, which is ICO IDOs. But that's completely fine. And you can feel free to wiggle that around. If you want to take more risk, obviously, then you want to adjust that, right? But that's my barbell strategy recommendation for everybody. 50% should be in Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is what I tell every retail person I meet in the streets. 30% in some good high caps like XRP, Stellar Lumens, Cardano, et cetera, Solana. And then 10% into, more high risk stuff like SUI, like Doge, all the other things. And then 10% into your meme coins, because meme coins have just 10% of your portfolio in meme coins could, obviously if 10% of your portfolio goes to zero, whatever, you lost 10%, move on, life goes on. But that 10% has the capacity to be at the top performer in your portfolio just because of how wildly they move. So yeah, SUI, price wise, I would be looking between, on the daily time frame, I would be looking between $3 and $3.45. If we're going to have a little bit more of a dip, looking to essentially just buy this support, buying this pullback to the 50 daily exponential moving average. And on the more short term, on the daily, we could gamble on a swifter recovery rally here and a very aggressive push to the upside. Listen, I'm not scared, guys. Not scared at all. 4-hour money flow index is oversold. 4-hour Minx is oversold and firing 2 contrarian long signals, as well as recommending to be close shorts, and bottom feeder did fire. So overall, I like that. Bottom feeder's done pretty good, really good on SUI. Bought up at this zone right here, bought here, very quick trade, bought this dip, very, very good. That would be my recommendation on SUI. Jordan Stott says, I know you're in the money-making business, so whether it's a meme coin or legit business model you're investing, but which project do you feel is more revolutionary for ours or our kiddos' generation? I mean, if you really want to be honest, this is gonna sound so lame, but super true. Do you know what I think is the real revolutionary technology? The best thing to invest in? Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to be around in 50 years. It's going to be around in 100 years. It is going to transform the way we transact on a global basis. It's already in the process of doing that. It's unstoppable. You cannot put the genie back in the bottle. Everything else, and listen, here's the thing. Everything else, and as a free markets guy and as a capitalist guy, I think a lot of people here's the thing. There's this big like spillover of philosophy from things that I don't agree with in the Bitcoin community. All right. And in the decentralization community. All right. Even though I agree with the aspects and tenets of decentralization. I'm a free markets guy, but I believe in strong antitrust laws. You have to in the digital age. Like Google should be broken up. Amazon, right? And I'm willing to like justify those at length and argue until I'm blue in the face as to why that is the case. You can't have free markets in the modern day. You can't have completely free unrestricted markets without strong antitrust laws. You just can't. Otherwise, all the things the socialists complain about, like all these like evil like robber barons, like yeah, but then the traditional free market Milton Friedman argument is like no, but like other robber barons keep the other robber barons in check. The oligarchs keep the oligarchs in check, and humanity gets to prosper. Yeah, but just the world's a little different now. You have to have antitrust with open free markets. You have to. So I think Bitcoin is the real revolutionary technology. Everything else is an opportunity to make money in the space, which is not a bad thing. It's a good thing. Profit incentive is is one of the strongest motivating forces on planet Earth. It's why shit gets done. It's why great things happen. But like I've said, I've been very consistent on this since 2016, man. This is exactly what I've said in 2016. Since 2016. I don't have long-term, like rock solid core faith in anything besides Bitcoin, right? I think Ethereum's super neat and cool. I don't know how it's going to play out, right? I think XRP is super neat and cool. And I think XRP from a capitalist position probably is positioned to do all the things the XRP army says it's going to do. Because there's lots of companies out there who are going to look at Bitcoin and they're going to want to do like digital payments. They're going to want to do digital transfers. They're going to want to do digital cross-border transactions, but they want it to happen in that corporate structure where if something goes wrong, they can call somebody who can reverse the transaction. And that's Ripple. That's XRP. Everybody's like, oh, it's like so bad. And it is if you're just purely like, oh, everything has to be 100% uniform decentralization. This is the only way I could possibly imagine the world. And I don't like corporations and I hate everything and I'm socialist. See, that's the problem. Bitcoin is beautiful and awesome and great. And I love the creativity and the drive and the development from a lot of its community. But a lot of them are really, have very like socialistic, anti-capitalist ideologies, which I don't. I think capitalism is the greatest economic force that we've ever seen for human prosperity. Since capitalism has been adopted worldwide, for the most part, we've almost abolished what was previously our standard of subhuman poverty, right? We still have those standards now, but they're dramatically better than they were 100 years ago. So I know that's not necessarily the answer you were looking for, but I always love to go to the deep, the true, the good, the beautiful as the baseline, because I think once we lose sight of that and we get short-sighted with, well, what's like revolutionary technology? It's like I saw this great tweet on my timeline and it was like this guy, he was just shit posting, but he basically said, man, suddenly all of the revolutionary technology that I'm invested in is crap. I'm sure in a couple weeks it'll be revolutionary and awesome again. You know what I mean? Like all this flash in the pan marketing BS. But there are some projects that I'm pretty excited about, like over the next couple of years. Like one, like I said, and it might sound boring, but like XRP. I think XRP is very well positioned to actually carry out its intended promise of being a project, a company, a system that large financial institutions actually feel very comfortable with in doing huge financial transactions. It does solve a lot of real world problems, right? So that's cool. I'm pretty excited about XRP. I'm really excited about things like Base, Optimism, and Arbitrum, because they have just they've just solved a lot of the problems that Ethereum had. I mean, Ethereum didn't have any problems. The only problem it had was, gosh, it's really expensive to use. And it should be. It's the second most secure blockchain in the world. And everybody wants to be on it. Everybody wants to transact on Ethereum. Everybody wants to store their wealth on Ethereum. But Optimism, Arbitrum, and Base, and I think Base is probably going to be the winner because it's corporate backed. But they have solved that problem. Now you can transact blindingly fast, use all the dApps you want, pay like fractions of a penny, and settlement in like five microseconds. It's really, really great. So those are pretty cool. What are some other things I'm excited about? I don't know. Let's just look. Let me look at the charts. You know, despite all the hate on Charles Hoskinson, like Cardano is actually like some super really cool smart nerd shit. I really like what Telegram Open Network is doing with building their whole ecosystem. I think that's really, really cool. Chainlink probably is right up there with XRP and its commercial appeal and its integration with real world shit. Even though I sold 50% of my Polkadot, and I still have a shit ton of Polkadot. I fucking hate Polkadot. Their marketing team sucks. Right? I say that and they're like number 18, right? But like literally, Polkadot is not as cool as it's cracked up to be, in my opinion. Obviously, like Near Protocol is also like pretty cool and sweet, but like also they're like Aptos is like, they're all like the Korean versions of you know what we have, which is cool. Hyperliquid, I don't think is really going to be super. I think this is just really hyped right now, but Hyperliquid is an amazing exchange and great idea. I don't really think what Fetch AI is doing is particularly awesome. I think it's just right time, right coin, right narrative. Stacks, I am super excited about. I bought Stacks ICO. I did just sell 50% of my Stacks, but I was up 5x on it. Thank you so much, Stacks, for contributing to my family's financial prosperity. But I am really, really, really excited for Stacks because it's the Ethereum built on Bitcoin, right? So it's building that layer 2 on Bitcoin. So it's super cool. So Stacks is the optimism network for Bitcoin, which is fucking awesome. Really, really cool. Atom probably has some of the coolest like hubs and features and like ecosystem that I've used. I think Athena is nothing but hype. I don't think it's cool. I don't get it. WorldCoin's garbage, but it's probably gonna do good. Jasmy's garbage. Gala Games is all right if they come out with a cool coin. Yeah, so here's Brett, 85. Let's go to $10 billion market cap, right? Pepe hit 10 billion. Pepe is like the roadmap for what meme coins can do. Let's see Brett at 10 billion. Python Network's pretty cool. And obviously Radium's pretty cool. Jito on Solana is actually really, really, really cool. JTO. I should have put that in this morning's report because I just bought some JTO too. I think JTO is going to do really good. I should probably buy some Radium too, though. I should probably buy Radium. Radium and Jito are, I think, probably the best solid picks on Solana. Okay, sorry. All right, so we are an hour into the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Alex, that's a really good point. Hold on, Alex, you had another question I want to answer first. You said that isn't a clear sign of inversion the fact that tokens like Doge have basically erased 3 weeks of gains in less than 48 hours? No, man, this isn't US equities, dude. This is crypto. That's just Tuesday. Like I said, this has been, by most parameters, the most significant or the worst or the harshest, or however you want to put it, altcoin correction that we've seen. But seeing how like fast and furious we rose, I'm really not too concerned about this. becoming like the top of the market cycle. I think people like Crown are completely wrong. I just really do. I just really do. There are obviously some factors, right? Like I have conviction in what I say, right? I can't predict the future. Anybody who tells you they know for sure what's going to happen is lying to you. So I can just tell you like how I'm invested and how and my risk that I have on. And I'm overall a buyer right now. There are a few things that I think helped contribute to the sell-off if you want to look at the news. All right. Obviously, I think what's going on in Syria probably didn't help. All right. You know, again, here we are. I don't want to turn this super political today, but here we are again, getting all riled up about our foreign intervention and toppling foreign governments. Like, super awesome. How did that work out in Vietnam? How did that work out in Afghanistan? How did that work out in Iraq? How is that going in Ukraine? Like, Jesus Christ, man. Turn on the news and they say democracy, rah, 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 and freedom, and people get all fucking fired up, man. There's an incredible study that shows that when new wars have been announced in the United States, and this goes back to the Vietnam War, that overwhelmingly people support it within the first 2 years of the war. Or excuse me, initially within the first several months of the war being declared. Everybody's like, oh yeah, America. And then as the war drags on, the approval ratings plummet. I wonder why. I wonder why. So obviously what's going over in Syria didn't help. Obviously what's going on kind of geopolitically, because just tensions are ramping up worldwide. Plus we just had an overbought market. Profit taking is pretty natural. And this profit taking, again, happens the way that it tends to happen, right? It usually happens at night in very sharp bursts, all right, that does damage and leads to further panic selling from retail, who weren't originally the initial sellers. And then the market dips, everybody freaks out, prices consolidate, and then we start to grind higher. So again, the safest thing you could do, right? Because I'm being aggressive. I'm buying like on red candles. That's fine. I might be wrong. I might get not wrecked, but like lose money on these positions. It is what it is. But the safest thing to do is certainly just, you know, sit on the sidelines, be chill, and wait until you start to see the market consistently grind higher, which is kind of good. And then, yeah, the Google quantum chip. I think that might have also been a little bit of a shock, but listen, like as I've been kind of saying for years, right? Like quantum chips start getting weaponized or more widespread, which right now, like widespread, we are so far away from that. Like we have bigger problems than private keys, right? The idea that the number one target of these ultra super exclusive elite quantum computers is going to be Bitcoin. Like, are you serious? Bitcoin is not, like, Bitcoin's great and amazing, but listen, we are a massive minority right now. Like we're gaining traction, but what do you mean? Like we're like a speck still. We've grown from a moat to a speck, right? So obviously huge growth. We're still a fucking speck, man. But Bitcoin is not going to be the primary concern of potentially governments utilizing and weaponizing these quantum systems. They're going to use them for geopolitics. They're not coming for your private keys, bro. eFlow asks, where would you be looking on MOG WETH to accumulate more? You're not the only person interested in MOG in our community. You are not the only person interested in the MOGs. MOG. We gon' MOG. We gon' MOG. Wow. Yeah, I mean, MOG shot up real hard on the daily and then pulled back. I got you, B-Flow. But Alex, to your point, yeah, I think all of those factors come out. But you guys know how I feel about it. I don't think that the news causes the fundamentals or causes the prices. I think that price moves happen, and then like, if that news would have come out and price wouldn't have done anything, we wouldn't associate that news with price. But because that news comes out with price. Jesus, Profit Bear with the $25 super chat. What's up, man? He said, Jesus has a petition on change.org to change the face of the penny to a Jesus head. I support that. Would that make Jesus 0.1 on the chart? Hello, much love, Justin and CC fam. I hope the interview of the dev of Jesus soon. Yeah, I've tried to circle back a couple times and we just keep getting our wires crossed, man. Let me just shoot him another. I just messaged him again. I messaged the Jesus Coin dev. I mean, yeah, obviously. Like, and then I think I did see you retweet me. I'll retweet your, yeah. Let me see this right here. Here it is. I noticed this, but like, you need to, what I need you to do is I need you to put the link in here. I need you to put the link because people are lazy, dude. I'll retweet this, but I need you to like tag me in another post and actually put the URL to the change.org petition. You only got time to go to change.org and type Jesus in there, man. This is 2024. People are lazy. So you do that, brother, and I'll retweet this. I think it's awesome, man. I would love to see that. But you know, like, granted, but then we got to do something about Abraham Lincoln. Abraham Lincoln's like one of the greatest presidents we ever had. So can we get something new? I'm tired of looking at this AI chick. Sheesh. There we go. We're going to read about this Google quantum AI here in a little bit. I'm going to look at Mog here in just a little sec. I got to take a 1 minute break, guys. Don't go anywhere. I will be right back. Thank you guys so much, by the way. Kind of mid-show advertisement. Repping, obviously, the exchange partner in our trading competition, BYDFi. If you guys have not already, please go over, register for our $2,200 prize pool because we are adding money as we hit trading volume milestones. So we are at 2,200. We might be at 2,300. I didn't check this morning. 80% of that prize pool will be distributed to the top traders. And 20% will be distributed to you if you trade over $100 in volume. So opportunities to win. There are going to be some great perks as well for the top 5 traders. VIP level 5 fee discounts, which is like 45% off your trading fees. VIP level like 2 of those. VIP level 3 like 2 of those, and VIP level 4 2 of those, and VIP level 3. So all of those are great benefits. If you're not on ByDFi right now, you can use the link in the description. You're going to get an immediate 17% off your trading fees on futures, because with my link, you're going to be getting a VIP level 1 fee advantaged account. Automatic a doubling of your 24-hour daily withdrawal limit. ByDFi has 600 coins, 200x futures, 0% spot trading fees, and demo trading, which is my favorite feature, demo trading. And we are going to be launching copy trading again soon live. So you guys will be able to copy trade me on the ByDFi platform. They're just currently retooling it, retweaking it before they launch again. So make sure to check out that link in the description. And thank you to ByDFi for sponsoring this portion of the live stream. All right, with that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, I will be back in just a hot second. Don't go anywhere. Good time to refill your coffee. Psych. Not a coffee. It's all right. Never go past 2 cups. Get all jittery. All right, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. We're back. Hey, Felipe, good to see you, man. Yeah, Honest Day, like, he was just a great president, man. We were so close to not having Honest Day become president. There's a great, I'm gonna put you guys on to some good stuff here. What you want to do is you want to go to Google. You want to go to the Lex Friedman podcast. Great podcast. And listen to this episode, his most recent episode with Cigar and Jetty. This Cigar is one of the most well-read people on American history, on American politics, in America. Just absolutely fascinating. I learned so much. Please go listen to this podcast. It's fantastic. You learn so much. Yeah, super good. And then obviously you got to listen to the Javier Milei one if you haven't. If you want to know exactly where someone like me is coming from, if you want to know kind of the basis of libertarian ideology, of free market ideology, of pro-capitalism ideology, and how that can fit, obviously they touch a little bit, not too much on like cryptocurrency, but it's not super relevant. It's just the general philosophy that I think is the healthiest and strongest and best for humanity moving forward throughout this world. It's free market capitalism and slashing regulations. And Javier is an anarcho-capitalist. So that's the dream. That's the dream. Okay, moving on. Definitely go check that out. Improving your life. MOG. Let's talk about improving our financial lives. MOG on the daily time frame has pulled back to that 10 daily exponential moving average. So this is the aggressive, this would be the aggressive pullback target. All right. If price is going to be very aggressive, and this has been a great pullback and it is going to continue up, this is the spot. Okay. Given the current market conditions, it's fine if you want to be a little bit more, conservative. All right. That's fine. We do obviously have a higher value area, which is kind of this previous area of consolidation. Looking at that daily time frame, that 50 daily exponential moving average is going to be coming around down here around 2449. Okay, so that would be my buy-in area down there. It's fine if you want to kind of sit on the sidelines. Altcoins might suffer a little bit more pain, like I said, 10 to 15% down across the board. If we are going to continue the dip, which does seem unlikely, following the most vicious altcoin correction that we've seen in recent history of all time, actually. On the 4-hour time frame, we just deviated below that 4-hour buy zone. We are at previous levels of support, so we could expect in the short term a recovery pump here. We did have a bottom feeder 4-hour signal that fired off. Unfortunately, that signal failed. But we are oversold. Excuse me, we're not oversold on the money flow index. We are oversold on Minx on the 4-hour time frame. We are just coming back into the bullish control zone on the daily time frame with Minx, and MFI money flow index still in the bullish control zone. So overall, again, aggressive would be right about here in the vicinity of the 10 daily exponential moving average. So if you want to do like a 1% risk here, I think that's fine. So busting out Quadrigo right here. Oh, interesting. I mean, Quadrigo is basically suggesting like big swings on MOG, right? So entry here, obviously, of course, position size to suit. So with a $5,000 account, you'd only be risking $372. And you'd be targeting about 4,000. You'd be targeting about 4,800. You'd be targeting about 5,700. And your stop loss would be around 2,300. All right. So obviously that would be less than 1% of total portfolio. It'd be about 0.3% of your portfolio. So obviously scale that to suit. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive, that's fine. This is just Quadrigo on the daily. Quadrigo on the 4-hour, on the other hand, I would be looking for price targets of like 3,560, 3,940, 4,320 with invalidation at 2,800, 2,810. All right. To split the baby, which I think is probably the safer bet. If you want to be aggressive, I would probably go for the 4-hour setup right here. And if that 4-hour fails, risking 1%, 2% of your account, then I'd just be patient and wait for this dip down here or for a more clear sign of recovery and then the market's moving up. Hudson, the two people that I showed there, Cigar is just a political commentator, and Javier Milei is the president of Argentina, probably one of the most revolutionary financial figures in the world right now. What he's been able to do with Argentina is insane. And, you know, honestly, like capitalist dreams. All right. So let's see here. Obviously. All right. Yeah, we had another dip. We're back up here. This actually looks nice and strong. Let's get some follow through here now. Let's get some follow through. If I would have been monitoring, I would have added on that dip. But looking at Bitcoin here, we descended for a further push down into the value area low. We are seeing some strong buyback now, looking like a potential 4-hour bottom, looking like a potential 30-minute bottom right here. Nice long wick to the downside into that support area. Now we should start to see some follow through to the upside. This is looking really good. Strong 10-minute candles, strong 5-minute candles. This is really nice. Looking like a 10-minute bottom here as well. Like I said, I mean, even just for a return to VWAP now at 96,901, daily point of control and resistance at 97,839. We're right at that 4-hour 200 SMA. So again, strong bounces from here are quite likely. This is a very nice orderly pullback, vicinity of the 30 daily exponential moving average. But this is all looking really, really good. This is all looking very, very good for my long intraday. We are almost back in profit. Like I said, we did open up here. I really like this. Why doesn't mine look like this? See, BYDFi, listen to me. They finally put the ability to see positions on the chart. Love to see it. Just $30,000 position. Profit Bear says you commented on today's video. All right. I think I did link the main Jesus account to your X account. Can you? Here, Profit Bear, this is what I want you to do. I want you to I got a follow from Jesus. What's up? Sorry. Is this the link? Okay. All right. Here we go. I'm going to retweet this. I'm going to sign it. Post. All right, so I did that. Yeah. Of course I can. Oh, okay. Good stuff. Signed and donated. Speaking of Jesus. All right, we're in the green. Life's good. What do we want to see right now for the bulls? I mean, oh, I know why. Because, oh, you can always see it on the basic version, but I'm always usually on the trading view chart. This is fine. What do we want to see for the bulls right now? I mean, we want to see this push up a little bit higher, maybe sweep this high at 96,702. And then we want to see a pullback and retest of this level of resistance, man. God bless you, brother. That's what we want to see for the bulls. I want to see some bullish price action today. Let's go. Big open interest drop, show lots of shorts closing out. And we can just see from CVD spot that there was a lot of selling. Not a bunch of shorts, all right? So we can see that futures didn't really sell off into this low a lot. We're seeing a lot more buying come in right now. And we did trigger some long liquidations right there. So yeah, this was mostly spot-driven sell-off. Futures didn't follow along with it. We do want to see, I would like to see some more spot selling come in though. Hey, Lee. Thank you, brother. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat, my friend. Appreciate that. And I'm hoping Jesus succeeds. I have Jesus. I'm holding it. Not a ton. I should probably buy more. I should probably put my money where my mouth is. And yeah, looking at Jesus in the 4-hour time frame right here. All right. As I said, you know, as a trader, all right, it would have been better for Jesus coin to do the rectangular box consolidation under the 200 SMA. All right, we haven't done that. Okay, that's fine. We did have a strong meso downtrend right here. We did have a nice strong bounce back from this zone to retest the triple resistance that we've had right here, and we're coming back down approximately to that entry zone right now. All right. Jesus is not yet in an uptrend, back in an uptrend. That's fine. When we're looking at things that we want to hold for periods of long time, we want to identify discount prices. All right. Worst case scenario for Jesus. All right. We seem to have established kind of long-term positional support down here. Okay. Now, since we are in a bullish cycle, we really don't want to see Jesus get down here. All right. We don't want to see this coin get down here. This is true of any asset, regardless of what name's on the ticker. And this also does have good levels of horizontal support and resistance, right? We can see that this was a support level. It got flipped into resistance. It became yet another resistance level and was kind of the breakout point. So approximately this range are the previous range highs that led to kind of this most recent rally. Big pullback to the proximity of the 4-hour 200 SMA, back up, lower high. Here we are back down. So, I mean, typically accumulation under the 200 SMA is good long-term if you're expecting a rally in the future. 11.7, thank you for the $2 super chat as well. So listen, in the short term, you can play the double bottom. I think the key thing to watch for here, mainly on Jesus, for those who are on the sidelines who aren't going to be dip buying, that's fine. These are talking to traders. Looking for this break of resistance right here, where we've experienced rejection 4 times. There's obviously a seller here. Makes sense because this was previous support. So this is just a basic SR flip. So we need to see that in reverse for the bulls. All right. We need to see this resistance get flipped into support. That will probably then lead to price trending back above the 4-hour 200 SMA, and life will be good. And we can enter into another rally. But overall, great run on Jesus. Pulled back a little bit, just gearing up for another run. Hey, Felipe, how are you doing today, man? Thank you so much, Lee. And thank you so much, 11, so much for the super chats, man. I appreciate that so much. Is that the Lee? Prophet Bear? I'll put my money where my mouth is too, by the way. So I will buy some more of this coin. Let's see here. Tonight. I can't do it right now live on stream because I would have to pull my ledger out. It's a little bit of compromise of security for me, but I will do it this evening. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, Maker. I just wondered because you had Lee. You had Lee in your name. Thank you very much, man. I appreciate your support anyways. Every person counts. All right, stick Jesus right back there. Let's see, other things that I talked about, other things I want to cover. It is 11:02, so we're in the last 30 minutes. So this is typically where we'll go to this is typically where we go to Twitter and shitpost. Anything that you guys want to talk about or link to. Terry A asks, have I heard of the Eagle AI trading system? The token is EAI. I have not, but we can take a gander at it. All right. Is this right? Let's see here. Hey, good morning, Disco Dancing. If you're still here, Terry, is this the coin on Ethereum? So it is, oh, but it's on Base. No, it's native token EAI operates on the Base blockchain. So I don't think this is it. Base. Yeah, here we go. Eagle AI. Enough. All right. I want to look at market cap. I don't care about token price. I care about market cap. All right, so we recently went from about $10 million market cap to 35, so that's a 30x or a 3x. Jesus. A 3x for the recent band of investors that entered. I think that's the most important thing to look at. Not really, like, honestly, a whole lot of support here. This was a pretty radical pump on Base. So just looking at price, we have lost the 4-hour momentum. The 4-hour buy zone is going to be down here between the 30 and 50 exponential moving average between 24 cents and 30 cents. 200 SMA is going to be all the way down around 12 cents. So that's pretty steep pullback. That's giving back almost all the gains. It's a 62% decline. And so the next level of support, we do have a lot of buying coming in here. All right. Whether or not the selling overcomes the buying, we'll see. But I would say probably middle case worst scenario is another 25 to 30% pullback and looking for reaccumulation around like 25 to 28 cents. Probably be my expectation on EAI. Now, some things about EAI. Eagle AI is a platform that leverages advanced machine learning neural networks and institutional grade data feeds to provide predictive analytics and insights for digital assets. I mean, I don't really believe in a lot of that stuff because I don't think, whatever. So they've got AI to identify potential profitable trades. Has anybody used the AI? Users can access Eagle's AI services through a Telegram price prediction bot and a web dashboard, both launched in 2024. 100 million tokens, circulating supply is about 40 million. which will gradually released over 12 months. There's a 1% buying tax, and there's a 4% sell tax. First pre-sale was conducted on pinksale.finance in May of 2024. They sold 30 million EAI tokens at 0.012 cents each. So that's like, they're like up 300x. The tokens vested over 6 months: May, June, July, August, September, October, November. So yeah, just the initial investors just got their tokens unlocked. Their 6-month vesting period just ended. That was the first pre-sale. So the first pre-sale investors now have the opportunity to sell, and they're selling. The second pre-sale sold almost 6 million tokens. And then EII was launched on Uniswap on June 7th. It's primarily traded on Uniswap. Distribution was 60% public, 20% marketing, 10% operations, 10% team, vested over 12 months. So the team can't sell yet. The team are locked in for another 6 months. So we're just seeing the first pre-salers have their tokens. They've just been unlocked, and they're having the opportunity to sell. So I would just put a pin in Eagle AI. Sounds cool. Sounds promising. Usually things like this are a flash in the pan. Almost every like AI like trading like token that I've ever traded like pops and doesn't really then continue to trend on, because I don't really think they're long-term sustainable or profitable projects. If they were, listen, if it was so good, they wouldn't go launch. They wouldn't launch something public. If you had the best like AI trading system in the world, you wouldn't sell it to other people. You would just use it. But you know, listen, hype is good. Like I said, buy zone 23, 28 cents. Pullback. I don't think dude's here anymore. All right. 20 minutes left in the show, ladies and gentlemen. As we are wont to do, let's go to Twitter and see if we can find anything interesting. Naomi, what are you saying, girl? Telegram was never private, and to say that privacy no longer exists is just disempowering. It's completely untrue. We have over 600 videos explaining how to reclaim your privacy. Yeah, so what did let me tell you, what did Ben say to me the other day? Because Ben linked me to some this article where the FBI warns iPhone Android users change WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger. So he's basically saying the FBI says stop using text messaging with people who have different phone operating systems because people could intercept your messages. But also the FBI says don't use any of the existing secure messaging apps because they are too secure and we can't intercept your messages. There are only 3 providers of secure messaging: Apple, Google, and Meta, and Signal, potentially Signal. Yeah, I think Signal is the best. Signal is what I use to communicate with my hold on a second. Cool. No, Signal is definitely the messaging app of choice. So I primarily use Signal to talk to people. I use Snapchat to talk to like my close, like personal friends to like, you know, share and have fun and like video chat and all. It is Naomi. Yeah. That's my girl. So yeah, I guess that's my thing. I use Facebook Messenger to talk to people like that I know throughout my life that don't use Signal, you know, and that I don't know well enough to use Snapchat with. I don't like consider like my conversations on Snapchat private, so I'm not advocating for that. But I do like, this is gonna sound controversial, but I love Snapchat's interface. Like it's one of the, like it's just very fun. It's got a lot of cool features, and so it's just fun to use to talk to people. But the things that I want private, I talk on Signal almost exclusively. The things that I want to remain Signal, like really intimate conversations or business conversations, those happen on Signal. And then I use either I use Signal almost the most, but there are quite a few people that I do talk to via WhatsApp. And almost everybody that I talk to on WhatsApp they're not in America. And again, yeah, yes to crypto is in there, and I hope he is loving it. Imagine being so vacant as to think the problem with American healthcare is a greedy CEO. A teensy weensy bit more important than greedy CEOs is that if you even think about using your actuarial tables, the Department of Justice will sue you. So start there. You have to run your business arbitrarily. That is actually the law. So is he suggesting that, I don't know, this maybe is a little too intelligent for me. And I know all of the morally superior people on Facebook, if they ran a health insurance company, would never deny anything. Right now, none of them do a damn thing to help people, but I'm supposed to believe that if they were all healthcare CEOs, they would of course be different from all the rest. Sure they would. Talk is cheap. They have no idea how this completely screwed up industry works in the first place, but they are convinced that they, being the modern Mother Teresa, would do things different. This is scathing. Notice that in direct primary care offices, you can get very inexpensive care administered efficiently and with very high customer ratings because you deal neither with the government nor with insurance. This is the point, man. This is the point. Empower private business. Cut the regulation. Give power back to the people. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I just think Snapchat's so fun. It's got video messaging in there. It's obviously the filters, right? Obviously, like, it's very popular with the kids. But when you're talking with some, like, I think Snapchat's like one of the best things you can use, like, for like maybe you're like your partner, because you can send like the cute photos like back and forth. And I use Snapchat to communicate with my kids. And then, you know, it's just very fun. Just very, very, very fun. That's what American healthcare would have looked like if we hadn't started tinkering it with it in the 1940s, thinking we could improve on market outcomes. Right? Anytime you get the government involved in free market outcomes, you just drive up prices, make things worse, and cause misery. Social Security, it's a scam. It was never a trust fund. It's been a lie from the very beginning. It's been a lie from the very beginning. If every young person, if every young American worker dropped off the face of the planet, there wouldn't be $1 to pay to Social Security retirees, benefit receivers, unless the U.S. government borrowed the money. There used to be a big surplus, but I mean, America is doing the same thing, is suffering from the same problem that all the other countries are, an expanding, retiring generation and less young people. So when Social Security was enacted, there were far more young workers than there were beneficiaries of Social Security. So it made sense. We quickly built up a surplus. And what did the US government do? They spent every single dime, nickel, penny of that surplus. Spent it. Gone. It doesn't exist. There is no trust fund. There never was. It's always been a lie from day one. Social Security was a lie from day one. I'm not advocating that we shouldn't do anything to help out the poor, the indigent, and the disadvantaged in our society. That's our moral responsibility to do. But it's not government's job. Never has been. All right. Good stuff. Oh, this dude's got a book. Your Facebook friends are wrong about healthcare. The primary use of implementing Winternit signatures, PQ signatures, in Bitcoin for now would be to knock out the quantum FUD traders. I can't see PQ being of relevance this decade or probably more decades. This time it's different. Cool. We await with interest your results. Is it true that high bits hash functions like SHA-256 are already quantum resistant? People are worried that quantum computers will mine all the Bitcoins, but that's not the case. The real threat is cracking the elliptical curve, which would allow a quantum computer to find the private key associated with the public address. Yes, hash functions are only square root impact, and at 256-bit, that's 128-bit left, which is plenty. So, right. So, quantum computers are not going to be cracking the Bitcoin blockchain, but they could potentially crack a public-private key. Dr. Back, if I told you last week Google will come up with a new chip that will solve a hard computational problem within 5 minutes that would have taken X, what would you have said? I would do the same as last time. Ask if it's a special case of no practical utility, which yet again is what's going on. Right. Like this is not, yeah, thank you. Yeah, this. From Satoshi Nakamoto on June 14th, 2010. If SHA-256 gets broken, we just roll back the chain and start with the new hash function. Is it going to be the best thing, the prettiest thing in the world? Oh, thank you guys for the follows on X. Why is XRP dumping? I put all my money in at 270. Please tell me you're LARPing. I know this dude's like a content creator, man. Oh, okay. Optimism crypto is real. Yes. Update after 2 months. She left me. Sorry, but never, ever with Russian women again. Get out of here. Let's see what BYDFi says. Biggest liquidation event since 2021 yesterday. How do you play this? Like, what is a 200 IQ move going forward from here? Like every other liquidation funding reset event, long the winners, cut the laggers. Yeah, this. Yeah. Yeah, so this is exactly this, guys. So the main thing, like, this is why I said it yesterday. I said it the day before him. Identify, no, wait, I just said it yesterday. I said it's Tuesday. That's what I said yesterday. Identify the coins that haven't dipped very much in this sell-off. Number one, do that, because those are going to rocket once the market recovers. That's step one. We're potentially in an area where you need to cycle your portfolio. There are some coins that are only going to have this first pump, okay, that aren't going to go on to follow the rest of the broader market along with further pumps. A lot of like lower cap coins are going to fit into this territory. So now is the time to look very critically at them. Once, maybe not right now, not when everything's selling off, but once the market recovers, you want to look at what actually recovers and what doesn't. The stuff that doesn't recover, you got to cut, get it out of your portfolio. Take your gains or take your losses on it and move on, because crypto is about momentum. You don't want to be holding something that's going down. Right? You can do that. But again, I only recommend doing that with like 10% of your portfolio. In general, you want to be identifying things that have momentum to the upside, because the things that are performing well are going to continue to perform well. Felipe says cracking crypto is a name that could be for a YouTube channel trying to use quantum computers to get crypto. We thought really far ahead. You know what I'm saying? We 200 IQ with the name of the channel. Cracking the code on profitable investment. Never do futures and perps. And yet my portfolio is at the same value as last week. Yeah. Interestingly, my low cap degen stack is holding up way better than my safe layer 1 alts. Just buy and hold, ladies and gentlemen. Buy and hold. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I'm very pro RFK. And yeah, I'm not surprised. I am not surprised because he literally wants to target some of the most profitable businesses in the United States that they're coming out of the woodwork. Somebody said if you wanted to get a good money for retirement, you should just hold Bitcoin. It's literally all you have to do. Just buy Bitcoin, man. If you want this, this is the advice I give to people like that I meet on the streets, like normies who don't know anything. They're like, hey man, like, you know, we know like you trade or you're an investor or something. And like, what advice can you give us, man? Especially like, you know, in the modern age, you know, the economy be very unsure and inflation and everything. I'm like, listen, the basics, like I'm learned a lot from Dave Ramsey and everybody can. First off, like, okay, so like, let me give you like, all right, let me just, guys, this is my advice for life. All right. This is what I've done. This is my advice for life. Okay. I'm going to combine wisdom from the conservative movement. I'm going to combine wisdom from Christianity. I'm going to combine financial wisdom from Dave Ramsey. And I'm going to combine my investing advice from my history and the people that I've learned from in that space. Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Okay. You got to start at the bottom and build up. All right. So number one, you have to take care of your core essentials first. You can't be, listen, there's like 5 people that kind of make it work, but they all blow the money anyways. You can't be a degen in your mom's basement and become a billionaire. It's not going to fucking happen. Okay. It's not going to happen. All right. Wealth follows positivity. So number one, be a good person, focus on yourself, and live a good, honest, moral life. Okay? Have a strong moral foundation. Don't engage in degeneracy. Don't use drugs or alcohol. I mean, I'm not going to condemn you if you have, if you have a few drinks and smoke a little weed, whatever. But that can't be the basis of your life. And your friend circle, your environment should not be solely promoted or based around that. And most people do. Most people are like, oh, I just smoke a little bit of weed and drink. Right. But that's all your friends do. And those are the only people you hang out with. And that will over time turn you into just as much a degenerate as them. I'm not a prude. This is just real reality. Okay. Everybody else, right? It's common to drink beer after work, sit there and watch TV. It's common to smoke weed. Look in the streets. It's common to OD on fentanyl. You actually have to be stronger, better than that to rise above, have morals and values, to have standards and say, no, I'm going to create a better life for myself. There's no fucking way around that, man. You're not a bad person if you want to use substances. It's fine, but it's going to impact your long-term trajectory for success. So what's more important, right? That nice, pleasurable feeling of getting numbed out, which is pleasurable. I have my own past, a bad past. Or fucking the best possible version of you that you see in your dreams. You could be that person. So that's where it starts. All right. Don't be a moral degenerate. Okay. Get some faith in your life. I'm not going to tell you, obviously I abdicate Christianity, but just get some good, strong moral philosophy or faith in your life. Okay. It's going to give you a strong community. It's going to give you a strong network of peers to pull yourself up. Just try hanging out with people who are smarter than you. Read obsessively. Read a lot. Okay. But and then eat good and exercise. Those are the core of your life. Okay. And you can build a great awesomeness off of that. But it's very hard to build anything of substance if you don't have that core moral foundation and ethical foundation. Health, morality, ethics, community. Boom. Okay. To do all that. Sex. Let's talk about sex. It's very important. All right. You want to blow your life up? Sleep around. All right. You want to blow your life up almost for sure? Like have children out of wedlock. All right. Very hard. And this is coming from a single dad. This is coming from someone with a background of a lot of sexual degeneracy. All right. Your life will just be so much better if you just focus on dating for marriage, finding a partner, a long-term, lifelong partner, and saving yourself for that. It's not about, and obviously I come at it from this point, but it's not really about that. It's not really about, oh, this is what God wants. Oh, this is like being pure, prude. It's not about that. It's just logistically much better and smarter because children are a massive drain on your finances, on your time, on your attention. And you want to be sharing that drain. It's not all negative. It's the most positive thing in the world. But you want to be sharing that with somebody who's definitely in it for the long haul and just as committed to that person as you. And guess what? Sex leads to babies. So, okay? Don't have sex before you're married. Don't have kids before you're married. Most importantly, whatever. You know, live, do you. Don't be degenerate. Work 40 hours a week. Whatever you can do, constantly strive to get a better and better job, constantly strive to get a better job, increase your skill set, be the strongest, fastest, hardest, best working person you can at work. You'll get noticed, get promoted, you'll get more money. You can dovetail that into better jobs, better positions, better offers. And then be financially responsible, all right? Save at least 20 to 30% of your income and invest it in Bitcoin and low fee index funds. That's it. Here's the thing. That doesn't guarantee that you'll become a millionaire. You need, like, in your youth or your teens or whatever, but it'll allow you to live a great, comfortable life, and it will allow you to start building generational wealth. It is hard to go from poor to multi-millionaire. It's very, very hard. It's very, very rare that it's going to happen to you. But what you can do is live an incredibly successful life and begin establishing the foundation for your legacy to then go on and become the next Elon Musk. Elon Musk didn't come out of nowhere. Bill Gates didn't come out of nowhere. Steve Jobs didn't come out of nowhere. Jeff Bezos didn't come out of nowhere. They were built on several generations of smart financial decisions. And that's the point. It's not just about you. It's about the world that you're leaving behind you. It's about your children. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Because children are the future. I don't know if that auto-tune worked. And I know my voice cracked there. But ladies and gentlemen, that's all I've got for you today. I've got to run. We've done 2 hours. You've been incredible. Gosh, I love you. Before we go, of course, if you find value in this content, please like and subscribe. It helps us out more than you could possibly imagine. All right. If you're watching on YouTube, dropping a like and subscribing to the channel will make sure you never miss an episode. We do this show for 2 hours every day, every weekday. Usually from 10 a.m. to noon Central Standard Time. So that is going to be 11 to 1 p.m. on the Eastern Seaboard and 9 to 11 over on the West, or 8 to 10, I think, Pacific Time. Yeah. If you're watching on Rumble, right, free speech alternative to YouTube, please follow and like us there as well. We're also on X at cracking, like cracking an egg _crypto. Give us a follow there because I post my alpha report every morning and evening, a truncated version. If you want the full report unlocked, my full alpha report every morning and evening, as well as access to all of our coursework, my life's work, how to build a strategy from the ground up, treat trading like a business, not a gambling hobby. You can find all that information on our official website at crackingcryptocurrency.com. First link in the description. Get your access to our Crypto Trading Academy, which is our private community, all of the benefits and features. Secondly, make sure you guys go check out our $2,200 prize pool trading competition at BYDFi. Second link in the description. Hope you guys have an incredible day. Trade safely, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Cheers now.